In this video, I'm gonna share 3 advices that made the biggest difference for me to enjoy my activities in extreme cold conditions. So most people think surviving extreme cold is all about adding more layer, but actually it's not. If you're really active in winter, the real enemy, it's not cold, it's moisture. So when it's well below freezing, moisture isn't coming from outside because all the water is frozen. The moisture comes from inside you, with your sweat. So the classic layer system with a merino base layer, a fleece, a down jacket, and a waterproof shell is a system that focuses on insulation. But insulation is the easiest part. When you're ski touring, snow kiting, or moving hard in sub-zero temperature, the real challenge is sweat. And all this sweat, like all this moisture, gonna be trapped inside your layer, and that's gonna make you wet, and that's when cold becomes really uncomfortable. So my first tip, when it's very cold, really often you actually don't need the waterproof jacket because the waterproof jacket's gonna trap all the humidity inside, and when you stop, that's when cold really gonna feel uncomfortable. Most of the time, I just ditch the jacket, or I could use it like if it's very windy when I stop. Ideally, I'd rather use a big puffy jacket like this one, because it's gonna bring even more warmth into my system. So now that we understand that sweat is the enemy, my second tip is quite obvious, is all about managing your effort. So if I start to push too hard, I'm gonna usually pace myself down in order to avoid sweating. I'd rather be slightly cold to maintain my dryness, instead having some sort of illusory comfort that now I'm warm, but knowing it's gonna be much harder from the moment I stop. Okay, and my third advice is about a layer that most people completely ignore, and it's a layer of empty space. And how to achieve that is by using mesh base layer. Traditional base layers sit flat on your skin, and as soon as you sweat, they get saturated with sweat. So a mesh base layer lifts the next layer slightly off your skin and creates small air gaps against your skin. And as you probably already know, air is the best insulation. That's why we use puffy jacket, is to trap as much air as possible. So all the structure of the mesh managed to create this empty space, little bubble of air that's gonna make you feel warm, but also it helps channel the sweat out of the layer. When I decided to create this video, I didn't originally plan to present any product, but I have been trying something for the past few weeks that is so good, I have to share it with you. So it's a one-piece base layer created by Brynje. Brynje is a brand based in Norway, specializing in equipment for Arctic and expedition conditions. The suit is composed of 2 layers, one of mesh, one of merino wool. And it's often described as the warmest base layer ever created. So I have to give it a try. And I have to say it's the favorite base layer I ever used. I've been living in it for the past 3 weeks, from being in a camp, static, or even sitting on a snowmobile in very cold temperature, all the way to being very active, and never ever I felt uncomfortable in it. So what really felt outstanding for me is how fast I managed to dry it, and it's all come from this ventilation concept I was talking about before. Never ever I felt cold, even if a few times I pushed myself a little bit too far and ended up being very sweaty. All the moisture managed to dry away without having to change. And another reason why I believe this product is superior is because the one-piece cut. So since I'm wearing a bib pants, I don't need to wear a belt, and avoiding having all the moisture being trapped inside the pants. So if there is only one thing you should remember about this video, is that you should not be afraid of cold, because it's easy to manage with insulation, but the real challenge is staying dry. If you control your ventilation, if you control your effort, and if you choose layers that's gonna help you to stay not only insulated but dry, I can guarantee you can spend all your day out doing your activities, even in extreme cold conditions, and having a really good time.